Jamming on the one. The second time around, you the only one. You the only one. You the only one. Now that I know you the one. We living in the word like I know the sun. You the only one.
You said it's mine for the taking. You blow my mind with this thing called love. You know every move I'm making. You know everything I'm thinking of. And I'm thinking of you all of the time. Oh, yeah. I can't ever get you out of my mind. You are the only one.
Shaq Rankin, shalom. Peace, shalom.
Always you from the start. It was always you all the time. I wrote you on my heart. I wrote you on my mind. And I'm thinking of you all of the time. Always. Say it. Oh, you are the only one. You are the only one. You are the only one. You are the only one.
Hello, we have a few more minutes before the show starts and when people start to come in, so just sit back and relax a few minutes and enjoy the wonderful music. Read the words. Read the words.
In the beginning, Yah created the heavens and the earth. His spirit moved upon the waters. It's all in his word. He said, let there be light. And he called the light day. And the darkness he called night. He saw that it was. He made heaven and called forth the dry land. Gathered the waters, called it the seed. And he made seed for man. Brought forth the grass and every herb and every fruit yielding tree on this earth. He saw that it was. He made lights to divide day and night times for seasons, days, and years to let them be for signs. And so the earth could have light. He made the greater one to rule the day and the lesser one to rule the night. Let's not forget he made the stars also. Then he told the waters to bring forth life, and it was so. He created all the birds of the sky, all the cattle, and every creeping thing after his own kind. He saw that it was. Then Yah created man. In his own image he created them. Male and female he created them. He blessed them to be fruitful and to multiply and to replenish the earth and subdue everything within. Behold, it was very good when it saw what he had made. Even in the morning were the sixth day. And on the seventh day he rested. That's why he sanctified and blessed it. It's uncontested. My Yah is. And to make it understood, I'm bumping truth music when I'm rolling through my hood. I'm putting Yah first, no hood fame. You read it on a nameplate. Dwell in the house of Yahweh forever for his name's sake. And though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I'm stomping through like it don't even exist. His goodness and mercy follow me all the days of my life. His yoke is easy and his burden is light. My Yah is. And to make it understood, I'm bumping music when I'm rolling through my hood. Then I was.
Well, hello. We'll be right back after this. To receive instant notification each time I upload, please hit the subscribe button and the bell notification.
Helping you along the way. Helping you to make it through another day. Yeah, yeah. Everything you need to know that you never knew, that you need to know. Like our perspective.
Well, hello, and welcome to the Lockhart Perspective. Great question that was asked by Oz Malice in the chat, and that is, what is Pragma Love? Well, you are probably experiencing it right now, and if you're not experiencing it right now, you probably have experienced it in the past. And so Pragma Love is the unconditional love, but it does not have anything to do specifically with intimacy that causes the flesh to quiver. So when you think about pragma love, it's a different type of love, right? Sexual attraction takes a back seat to it. Pragma relationship is considered the everlasting love between a married couple, a love that develops over time. It's the kind of love that's practical. It's founded on reason. It's founded on long-term interests, that kind of stuff. So it's also based on a duty. When you are bound to your husband or your wife, you are bound by a duty, by a responsibility, by a covenant. And so pragma is more in favor of the personal qualities or compatibilities. You know, it's funny because if you've ever had a spouse and you lost that spouse and you ended up getting remarried, or for whatever reason, you may have suffered a divorce at one point in your life. And if that's the case, then what you'll find is the next time you do it, you don't necessarily do it for the looks of it all. Think about that. I mean, if you're a woman of a certain age or a man of a certain age, now you're looking for qualities that are lasting, things that you understand are more important as it relates to compatibilities, right? That's what the pragma love is. A lot of times when you think of that, you think about what the shared goals are. You think about how you're going to make it work. It's that perseverance type of love. That's what pragma love is. And believe it or not, it's a love that's bound by commitment to one another. It's understanding, it's making those concessions for what the other person is going through. It's the acceptance, it's the unconditional acceptance of that other person. How often have we wanted that? I think a lot of times that old song, looking for love in all the wrong places, I often think that that's possibly what people are looking for. They're looking for pragma love. They're looking for someplace they can just be themselves, right? Of course, I think that's what we all want to be. Now, it's pragmatic, okay? It's pragmatic because it grows the highest. It's like the highest form of love. And as it grows and it comes from that understanding, it grows over time, and it requires reflective understanding between lovers, okay, who have been together for many years. You see how you may see some of those older people and you want to know, hey, how did you guys do it? I see a lot of couples ask older couples, how did you guys do it? How did you make it work over the years? How did that happen? And a lot of times you'll see the women or even the men say, well, it wasn't easy. It took a lot of work. And that's what the pragma love is. It's the pragmatic idea of it's going to work because I'm going to make sure that it works. I overlook certain stuff. I'm not necessarily looking to have this intimacy all the time. Now, Pragma Love withstands any type of physical ailment. Think about that. If somebody has been in a car crash, God forbid, an accident, and now they're maimed and they cannot get around, a lot of times people say, well, I can't stay. I know of a guy that I went to high school with, and ironically, I knew his wife during college and did not, I knew her, I knew him in high school, I knew her in college, and then after graduation of college, they got married. Odd. She got cancer and he went away. Pragma Love would have made him stay. Okay. You can think of a lot of other things about him. You can possibly call him a lot of other things. You could. But pragma, that pragmatic love that says, no, I have a commitment to stay here. I have a commitment to stay. I've made a commitment to stay. That's pragma love. Pragma love says, she cheated on me and I'm going to stay. Ooh, did she say that? Yep, I said it. It was me. It was me. I said it. Yeah, that's what Pragma Love says. Pragma Love says she cheated and I'm going to stay. Pragma Love says he cheated and I'm going to stay. And a lot of people will say, Felicia, you're nuts. Am I? You guys see my profile. Pragma Love says, I'm going to weigh out the checks and balances. Because when you think about it, in the scheme of things, a spouse that cheats is no different than one who's sick. I know that sounds crazy, but let's look at it. If you look at the word, a lot of times people have looked at the part where, the father says, hey, God hates divorce. Why? Because he's put it in you to stand still. There may be a lady or a man out there right now that's thinking, Felicia, I just can't take it again. I can't take it. The person just keeps going out. They keep doing their thing. And I don't know how to handle it. Well, you know how to handle it if you're rooted and grounded in the word. Yep, you do. If you are rooted and grounded into the word, then that means that you are joint heir with Christ, and therefore you can withstand it. You can. You can. Trust. Pragma Love says that no matter what that person does, I am going to be here. Yes, it does take work. It does. It takes commitment and it does take work. But the work does not begin and end with whether or not they see things or do things your way, or whether or not you guys are, there's not been any problems. When you consider the fact that the father even said, no, I hate divorce, and I would that you wouldn't get a divorce. I would hope that you don't do it. Right? I would hope, but because of the hardness of your heart, we just let it pass. Because of the hardness of your heart. So if your heart is hardened, you're not rocking with Pragma Love anyway. You're waiting for the first and the second and the third and the fourth shoe to drop so you can say adios. It's exactly what you're doing. And it's the easy way out. Let's see what we got going on. I see one comment. Oh, we got some more though there. Hello, Steve Willis. How are you? And good afternoon to you too. Rachel Van Ziel, Oz and Malice wanted to know, what is Pragma Love? Well, it's the kind of love you wish you had if you never had it. It's the kind of love you may be the giver of, but you may not have always received it. And there comes another part of what we're talking about today, because this series that we're doing is the different types of love. Pragma Love is the looking for love in all the wrong places. It's being in love with love. It's understanding commitment. It's understanding staying put. It's understanding that if we're going to both be 50 years in this thing together, somebody going to have to take some mess. There's a lot of guys out there that have women who are Pragma lovers. And a lot of people will benefit from it. Who benefits from Pragma Love in a family? The children, the grandchildren. They do. And the sweet part is, over time, once you stay with your loved one and you're in the word, I'm not talking about folks who are just out there, although there are some older couples out there who have learned to stay put. And they're not even in the word. They were just brought up in that time where that's what you did. You just stood still. Now, that's not to say that some men or some women shouldn't be as messy as they are when they go out there and do stuff that's wrong. But it is to say that if you are the person on the receiving end and you are rooted and grounded in the word, you know that that may or may not come. But what happens if that person, you guys are having a smashed up, bang up love affair? I mean, it was just the best intimacy that a husband and wife could have ever felt or experienced in their lifetime. And then all of a sudden something happens and that person can no longer perform. Do you just do like the cat I mentioned and pack it up and roll out? Would you call yourself a believer in the Father? God forbid. I hope that's not what you do. I hope that's not what you do. Would you like that done to you where you die alone because somebody just did not have Pragma love? They didn't understand what love meant. They didn't understand what love is. They were under the impression that love was just when things were going good. Well, Pragma love will make you stay. Pragma love will make you stay. Let's look at another part of enduring love. Because I'm not sure how helpful that I can be, because I'll be candid with you. I am one of those people who have that kind of love. I just don't know how to do anything else. I just don't. And other people will look at it and just shake their head. You know what I mean? Marriage in and of itself is not a hello, Angela Reed. It is so good to see you. You know, marriage is not something that's an easy thing, you guys. It's sometimes you feel like you are the only person in it. Now, let's talk about long-term friendships, because long-term friendships can have that type of pragma, type of stick-to-itiveness, not necessarily to the extent of marriage or relationship like that. But you can have a friendship where you're the one that has that pragma type of mindset, and you're just going to be there no matter what. Thank you, sweetie. Okay. Thank you, baby. Take and set it over there for grandmother. Okay. It's a nice Bible. Thank you, baby. Thank you. You know, you're not necessarily in a relationship, a physical relationship with somebody, but you guys have grown a friendship together and you just got that kind of stick-to-itiveness. You may feel like you're the only person that is adding to the game. And there may be a lot of people who are listening right now or in the replay who sees that they're always the one that's adding to the game and nothing is ever being added to them. When you find yourself in those kinds of outside relationships, not marriages, but when you find yourself in a relationship where you are constantly giving and giving and giving and giving and giving, it's time to investigate yourself. You guys see, I put a lot of responsibility on us. The onus is on us, right? The onus is on us. So what'll happen oftentimes is you give, but it's the outbound love, nothing coming back. It's the outbound giving, nothing coming back. It's the outbound share, nothing coming back. If there's a reciprocal relationship, you're gaining something. If you are the other person who is in covenant with somebody and you have, you're in covenant and maybe you've got more land than the other person. Let's use it in old school terms. And you've got more to give, but they give you back something and it weighs out, because even though you got the land and they may only have the seeds, you guys together make a harvest and y'all all gonna eat, right? They're giving something, but there are some times where we are in a pragma mindset and the reciprocation is not there. You're constantly giving and giving and giving, and then you don't understand where to cut it off. You cut it off when it's necessary, when it begins to cost you more than you get back. You cut it off when you begin to see that you are being physically hurt. You cut it off when you begin to see that your emotional health is now beginning to have an impact. It's beginning to impact the emotional health, and then the emotional health then goes into the physical realm. And then it's time to investigate, where are you putting this person on a pedestal? Right? Then it begins to say, okay, now let me take a step back now, because I must be putting them in a place that they're not supposed to be in. I must in some way or another be putting them in the place of a God. We often talk about how you got that friend or that person in your life. How men or women. It's a funny thing. I'm watching this series and it's actually quite addicting. It's hilarious. But this is exactly what I mean. It's like this, these people went to jail and then they got out with these pen pals. And then all of a sudden they start just finding out that these pen pals that were giving them all of the false hopes and dreams while they were in jail, that they're really not what they panned out to be. Right. And the guy or the gal who was giving out more realizes that I was just something for them to do while they were in jail. It's a sad situation, but it happens all the time. And I think it happens to both men and women. But have you ever noticed when you look at those scenarios that there's just that one person constantly giving? This one poor guy, he gave the girl her bond. I think it was a $50,000 bond. He had given her thousands of dollars, and she doesn't know how to deal with that kind of stuff. She has never been loved like that. So she just thinks it's game. So when you see that kind of individual in your life, you cannot continue to throw your pearls before swine. You've got to understand that it is time to let that go, because God, the Father, did not call you to abuse. So when we're in a marriage, yes, we are to stand. We are to have pragma love. We are to give of our heart, especially if you are a woman. And especially if you are a woman in a relationship with a husband who understands your placement and you understand your placement. If you are a wife that has a husband that says, baby, I don't want you to work. I just want you to stay here and take care of the house, take care of the children, take care of me. You know what I mean? Get everything together, run the finances, run this business, because home is a business. If you're in that kind of situation, ma'am, sit still. Sit still. Don't go running out here in the world looking for adventure, looking for other things. Create your own adventure. In your love life, create your own adventure. In your family life, create your own adventure. Don't go out here running around listening to other people in your ear trying to tell you what your life should be. Because believe me, they will talk you out of your good thing quicker than anybody. And your husband is your good thing. Pragma love. Pragma love. Pragma love says, I don't care what he does, I ain't letting go. You better ride it like a bull. You know them bulls that they put inside of the bars in those movies or whatever. You see them in the Western shows where they got the big bull there and they're like, okay, ride it. How many seconds? How many minutes can you better ride that thing, girl? You better get them stirrups, sister. You better get them stirrups and keep hold of your good thing, because if you don't, somebody else is going to come and snatch up that thing that you just thought was nothing. If you don't have pragma love, she gonna pick up your good thing and ride it where you left off. She gonna ride it till the cows come home, and she will take everything that you sown, that you put into that cat. She'll take it right out and roll on. So you have to have pragma love. Pragma love is the kind of love that made Yeshua, Jesus, stay up on that cross. Enduring love, agape love, right? That was agape love. Unconditional, I ain't going nowhere. I'm going to stay up on this cross until my work is done type love. And so in order for us to have pragma love with our spouses, we got to understand that agape love, because that's where pragma love comes from. Believe it or not, there are certain religions or belief systems that have the type of pragma love we're talking about. A lot of Indians from India, Pakistan, they have those pre-set marriages. And oftentimes you don't know who this cat is. You don't know who this chick is. You ain't never been nowhere together. You ain't never even really seen him or her. And in those pre-fixed marriages, what ends up happening is you end up falling in love with them. You end up being in a place of servitude or submission to a good thing, and you end up falling in love. That's pragma love. Let's look and see what some of the statements here. Let's see where we go here. Good afternoon, Rachel Van Zyl. Hey, Steve Willis. Amen. Pragma. And Angela, hello, everyone. Late ears open now. Robert Ingram, welcome. In spite of me, I've been blessed with such a woman. So thankful for my mate. Amen. And that's a good thing. Because, hello again, Angela Reed. When you look at Proverbs 31, 10 through 31, it says every single year a woman will get that Mother's Day card, right? We don't do Mother's Day. And I have the reason why I don't. When it comes to that season, I'll tell you why. But oftentimes, because you're trying to be good, you give her that card. Who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies. And it also says that the husband is known in the gates because of that good thing he married. He is known in the gates because of how excellent his wife is. Her children rise up and call her blessed. He may have been a really mean stinker the week before, that husband may have. But she stays on her gig. Why? Because she's submitted to the Father. And as wives, we've got to be submitted enough to the Father to understand our placement and position when it comes to our spouses. Likewise, husbands, love your wives as Christ loves the church. It is reciprocal, and that's what Pragma is. It's understanding on both sides of the coin what I got to do. But when we think about friendships and when we think about relationships that we're the only ones passing out stuff, then why isn't this person watching us? Why is this person calling and this person ain't watching us? All right. So when you're thinking about that, you got to understand that, hey, sometimes those relationships that take you outside of yourself and that only make you give, that's not the way you're supposed to be. Hold on a second, you guys. Y'all need to go that way. Nope, you can go that way. Thank you, you awesome humans. So that's the way it has to be. You have to get to that point where you understand what it is that the Father has called us to and what he has not called us to. And as women and as wives, we are not called to lead over our husbands. We are called to be submitted to him. As we submit to the Father, we submit to our husbands. When you do as unto your husband, you're really doing it as unto our Father. Why? Because submission starts between you and him. And if you're submitted to the Father just with your own personal relationship, then you will understand how you are to be submitted to your spouse. And in a lot of those marriages that you see that are fixed, which, by the way, we may all have to be understanding that in a minute. Because if you got grandchildren or children, honey, you're gonna have to find out where that baby came from before he married her. Or she marry him. These days, we may just have to start going back to that, setting them up when they first born. Boy born, girl born. Great, you guys will be set up. Put them in the playpen together, let them play. Let them grow up together. Because what's going on right now, Lord of mercy, ain't no telling. Do you guys have any questions? Do you guys have any statements? I appreciate those who have sent questions into the email account. I do appreciate it. And I love answering those questions, especially considering being that we're in the pandemic days right now where we're not able to get out. I haven't been able to go on to do any public speaking. I haven't been able to hold any women's conferences that I was, over a year and a half ago. Things were really rolling. I was able to go to do more women's conferences and speak to more young ladies and whatnot. But now can't do it. So I appreciate those questions that go to the mailbox or the email, Felicia@FeliciaLockhart.com. Thank you. We're coming up on about the 30-minute mark. And I just wanted to thank each and every one of you guys for tuning into this particular session that we're having, dealing with the attributes of love and the different types of love that there is. There are so many different ways that a person can express their love. And there are different ways that people need to be loved. If you're a person that likes to see things done, I'm a person of action. You'll just melt my heart. You'll melt my heart. And any little thing you do for me, you melt my heart. And you can pretty much have anything you want. Because I'm a person that, just like for me, cleaning out the inside of a car. Those things make me happy. There are people who are moved by that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? If I come in and I see the curtains that I had sitting there put up, oh my goodness, you're going to have such a good time later. It's just a great feeling, right? And then there are some people who say, well, no, I got to have, acts of, you got to buy me stuff, but that's not me. I mean, if you give me something, man, oh man, of Chevitz, I'm happy, happy, happy. But what happens when you can't give nobody something? What happens when all you have to give is a pot roast? You know what I'm saying? Or all you got to do, all you have to give is a pot of beans. Hey, Gen G, what happens then if all you got is a pot of beans that you can cook and bless somebody with it? So Pragma Love says it does not matter about the amount of intimacy that you have, because you may not always be able to physically get down. Pragma Love says, I'm here out of commitment, out of duty, out of responsibility, out of the fact that I understand what love truly is. Pragma Love is what you see when you see folks married 25, 35, 45, 50 years, 60 years. Okay? That's what Pragma Love is. Pragma Love is the love that just goes and stretches and stretches and stretches. It's when you start to see the man and the woman start to favor each other, because the oneness that the Father gave them. Now you start to see them like, wow, they've been together so long, they almost look alike because they're of one mind now. That's what Pragma is. Pragma is we see each other, we see eye to eye, we understand each other. We ain't going nowhere. He loved me, and then he's saying, and she loved me. Pragma Love is the love that'll keep a thing concealed with his health. Pragma Love is a thing that will keep things concealed with her health. She can't do this anymore. She used to be able to do the mashed potato better than anybody. Oh, mama used to be able to get down, but now mama's hip is a little messed up. I ain't going to tell nobody. But when you see him standing a little close to mother, when she's getting up from that table, you know that's Pragma Love. Why? Because he's keeping that thing concealed. He's just helping her. He's just there for her. That's Pragma Love. Y'all got some Nana Nim. Y'all got some grandmamas and some grandpapas who understand Pragma, and you've seen it in your life. And when you see it in your life, even though you may not be that person that knows how to do it, you sure enough want it. That's Pragma Love. So I appreciate you guys for spending the last 30 some odd minutes with me. Tomorrow we're going to be looking at some other different kinds of love. And then Sunday, ooh, baby, we going to talk to the mama Nim. Let's see what Gen G has to say. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm a bit late. It's all good. I find this topic fascinating. I'm so glad you do. Beautiful, Felicia, seeing your face. Oh, and hearing your voice is soothing to me. Well, you know what? Bless the Most High for that. Like coming home, I'm so happy to be here with you, and we are happy to have you. I'm happy to have every single one of you. When I know that the Father has put me on your heart and that you guys are here to support the work and the efforts that we're doing, it makes all the difference in the world to me. It really does. It makes some hard things easy. It does. And you guys know what? We're only here for a small time, right? Life, we're just a vapor. That's all. And so if I can say something to help you make it through the day a little bit easier, or to not bite back when somebody wants to argue at you and cuss you out and go off on you and do all those kind of crazy things, y'all don't fall into them traps. Don't fall into those traps. Let me tell you something. There was an accident that I don't know if I can show you guys or not, but how about you have an accident? Your spouse has an accident. And you see the vehicle. And after you see the vehicle, you're like, OMG. I cannot believe he or she made it through this. D. Harris, R. Jones, hey. And you can't believe they made it through. It puts things in perspective for you. The little things, sister, brother, in your marriage, if it's something little, take a deep breath first before you respond. Take a deep breath. Is it worth it? Making that the last thing you say before that person goes out the door? Or can you think about Pragma Love? How did Momo Nim get to that place? Do you want to make it to where that person, even if it is the last moment of your life and you go out, you guys hug and love and that person's gone, you want to make sure that you left that positive thing on that person's mind. Y'all don't do it. Hold your tongue. It ain't easy. Remember, when I minister to you, I'm ministering to me as well. So in honesty and all transparency, I want to tell you it's not easy. It is not an easy thing to do, but the more you do it like a muscle, you'll practice that thing. And the more you practice that thing, the easier it is to do the next time. Love your spouses, ladies. Love that man. Treat him good. Understand that Pragma Love says it may not always be a good thing. You may not always get what you want immediately, but you sit there a little longer, you'll get what's due to you. Husbands, be a little patient with her. She burned the beans this time, it's okay. You know how to do it better? Get in there with her and help her next time. You remember how your mama did it when she took you in the kitchen? That's good, because she maybe didn't have no mama to take her into the kitchen and teach her how to make them beans right. Pragma Love. You don't put them on Front Street, you love them. I love mine. And it ain't always been roses. It ain't always roses. It ain't always roses. But good vibes and good relationships breed a good relationship. Think about that. If you have good characteristics about yourself and you're bringing that to the table, eventually, especially if it's in a marriage, eventually things will begin to work out. I always say that a woman should never withhold herself from her husband. Even if you're mad, you better get down with it. You know why? Because you don't have the right and responsibility to say no when it comes to your spouse. If you're mad, lay there long enough, you'll get into it. All right, you guys, I love you very much. Thank you so very much, D. Harris, for coming in a little late too. Hi, all. Been missing these lives. R. Jones, that would be wonderful. And afternoon to you, Anthony Van Zandt. You all, we will be coming on at 3:00 with our special series, so that if you, for whatever reason, can't remember, it's all good, because we've got another couple. We got another couple of them coming up. But this Sundays is going to be good. Also, this Saturday night is live. We're totally off of the love. We're going to be dealing with some other stuff, because remember, for the next few Saturdays, for Saturday night is live, we are building the platform and the foundation for us to get a hold of the whole timepiece and the whole Gilgamesh, or the whole Gilgamesh piece, the whole Jasher piece. We're dealing with some heavy duty stuff. Okay. Heavy duty stuff. And so with that heavy duty stuff, you'll probably have to go back to the first one that we did, because we laid down some stuff dealing with the sun and dealing with the time and dealing with a few other things. We got the Ernetti piece that we did with the chronovisor as laying out some of the foundation for where we're headed. The Saturdays series just may take us a little bit longer, but I guarantee you that when we are all done studying and learning together, we're going to be made better for it. Okay. Let's see here. That would be wonderful, Jen G. Afternoon, Anthony Van Zandt. Anthony Van Zandt. I don't have a lot of things, but what I do have, I'm grateful for and honor. Thinking I have Pragma Love. Thank you, Lord. Amen, sis. Amen. That's what it is. Okay, that made me smile. Lay there long enough. Yeah, girl, lay there long enough. You be all right with it. Don't hold nothing back from your spouse. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't leave nothing for the cleanup woman. Nothing but the dishes. And let's see. Gone Girl 777 PRS. Hello, I found you through Roy Potter. Question. I've been with the same man for 11 years. We don't talk about marriage legally. We don't have children, but we're in our 60s. Would God not approve? No ring. Here's what I believe in. My mindset is totally different than others. If you all have walked in companionship and it is a bona fide companionship, and that bona fide companionship does not leave any space for anybody outside, and you all have been together 11 years, I'm going to tell you that knowing a man, and when a man knows a woman, they are now married anyhow. So what I would say is any doubts or any feelings that you have about it, take it to the Father in prayer. You take it to him in prayer, because let's just say this, the whole legally piece, legally is based on a piece of paper that now the state can get some money out of. Just saying. The legal piece is under what law, right? And so you'd have to deal with that. It has to, it depends on lots of stuff. Then there are other people that say, well, you got to follow the laws of the land. Really? Well, if you follow the laws of the land right now, there's a whole lot of stuff that goes on that goes opposite of what the Father says. So that is something that once you and he are one and you and he have made your mind about what it is, you all have your own personal reasons why you don't invite the law into your marriage personally. And this is just me. It's not the Bible. This is what I think. And this is my personal opinion. I do want you to take it in prayer, and I do want you to talk to the Father about it. But I personally feel like that piece of paper gives the state a whole lot more leeway and into your business and into your relationship. If it's based on the word, into your relationship, than it needs to be. So take with that what you can. And I do hope that I do hope that, once you talk to the Father about it, to give you the tail end of your answer, would God not approve? Talk to him, because I think you might be surprised. And I think a lot of other people may be very shocked that if that commitment has been made, child, let me tell you something. There are some states that have what is called, if you guys are under the same domicile, you guys help me out with it. What is it called? It's called common law spouses. You are considered a spouse. Sometimes when you have been living in a household with a person for a long time and y'all try to separate it, you'll find some attorneys will even tell you, baby, y'all gonna have to get a divorce to let this thing go, because you guys have got so much invested. So I hope that was help to you there, Gone Girl 777. Okay, Rachel Van Zyl, y'all saying hey to each other. You got Googled, Anthony. What? Anthony got Googled? Oh no, and Faith's funny faces are good faces. Silly girls and silly boys. I love Anthony. Anthony, I've done a couple of your stories that you put in the mailbag, and I want to thank you for sending them. I want to thank all of you guys, man. You guys have been sending some good stories. Woo! Jen G says, Gone Girl, 16 years with the same man. A marriage is between a man and a woman and God. A legally recognized marriage in the United States is of no matter, in my opinion. That's a good point. Google, this boy said Google monsters. Oh Lord, Anthony, this boy is a mess. Ooh, that was a good one. It marries you both to the state. Yes, it does. That piece of paper does. LOL, lay there long enough. Yes, sir. All you got to do, sister, don't you move. You better sit there long enough. You be all right. Google them deleted a message that wasn't anything. Yeah, you got to pray for them folks or them things. I don't even know if you can, because those probably ain't even things no more. Well, folks, we're coming up on 43 minutes, and I want to thank you guys so very much for tuning in to the Lockhart Perspective today. We dealt with Pragma Love. I hope that if you have any questions that you don't mind me answering publicly, then you go ahead and send some of those questions to Felicia at FeliciaLockhart.com. I do appreciate you guys, and I do hope that every single one of you has a great day. To fill out the balance of time here on the channel, we are playing the producer's music both at the top and at the end. Why? Because when you have that round number there, it helps with the algorithm of the channel. And if you read some of the words to the songs that we're playing, because they are all on the screen, you will see the word in them. And it is a good thing. So as you all know, Ronnie Mann is the producer of the channel. He does give a lot of insight, a lot of the stuff. I also lean on one of our other mods here. Send messages early in the morning. Hey, what do you think? So we're going to be making a few changes and some good ones that'll help us get in the niche of, hey, she's on around 3 o'clock in the afternoon. You'll find that as the news becomes available, I will do news briefs. Albeit last night it was a hoot, because I did one whole news brief without any sound. It is just me, right? And yeah. So with that said, I appreciate each and every one of you. We are at the 45-minute mark. You all have a great day. And remember what we always say here on this channel: for man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds out of the mouth of the Most High Yah. Y'all take care. To receive instant notification each time I upload, please hit the subscribe button and the bell notification.
Helping you along the way, helping you to make it through another day. Yeah, everything you need to know that you never knew, that you need to know. Like our perspective. Yeah. Jimmy on the one. The second time around, you the only one. You the only one. You the only one. Now that I know you the one. We living in the word like I know the sun. You the only one. Yeah. You said it's mine for the taking. You blow my mind with this thing called love. You know every move I'm making. You know everything I'm thinking of. And I'm thinking of you all of the time. Oh, yeah. I can't ever get you out of my mind. You are the only one. 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 It was always you from the start. It was always you all the time. I wrote you on my heart. I wrote you on my mind. And I'm thinking of you all of the time. Always. Say it. Oh, you are the only one. Only one. You are the only one. You are the only. You are the only one. You are the only one.
Vavashaya. In the beginning, Yah Yah created the heavens and the earth. His spirit moved upon the waters. It's all in his word. He said, let there be light. And he called the light day. In the darkness he called night. He saw that it was. He made heaven and called forth the dry land. Gathered the waters, called it the seed. And he made seed for man. Brought forth the grass and every herb and every fruit yielding tree on this earth. He saw that it was. He made lights to divide day and night times for seasons, days, and years to let them be for signs. And so the earth could have light. He made the greater one to rule the day and the lesser one to rule the night. Let's not forget he made the stars also. Then he told the waters to bring forth life, and it was so. He created all the birds of the sky, all the cattle, and every creeping thing after his own kind. He saw that it was. Then Yah created man. In his own image he created them. Male and female he created them. He blessed them to be fruitful and to multiply and to replenish the earth and subdue everything within. Nah, behold, it was very good when he saw what he had made. The even in the morning were the sixth day. And on the seventh day he rested. That's why he sanctified and blessed it. It's uncontested. My God is, and to make it understood, I'm bumping truth music when I'm rolling through my hood. I'm putting God first, no hood fame. You read it on a nameplate. Dwell in the house of Yahweh forever for his name's sake. And though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I'm stomping through like it don't even exist. His goodness and mercy follow me all the days of my life. His yoke is easy and his burden is light. My God is. And to make it understood, I'm fucking when I'm rolling through my hood. Yeah, I was. And to make it understood, I'm fucking when I'm rolling through my hood.
Good morning, babe.
Do you remember where we're from? Stayed up watching, no time for yawning. Look up at the sky, see that new day dawning. God be my witness, take it as a warning. Sun ain't never lie, great day in the morning. Focus, never let the nighttime revoke it. Blinded by the dark, I seen it before they cloaked it. It was marvelous, they hiding it behind the pulpit. Lying in a sick bed, vying with the culprit. How we trying on the culture, liking how it fit, now we dying with the vulture. At the round table with more nights than Mozart. Caught up in the image of that child on that poster. The light disable the diagnosis, healing the sick. I got the script and the dosage. Take it for the grind, you gon' need it for the borderline. Holla when you see the joy coming, morning time. Keep on keeping on. Morning time. Holla when you see the joy coming. Look, I guess we probably need a night light so we can continue to get our hope on. They say we headed for that light, right? Well, I'ma hit them with this photon, with that blazing sword forming like Voltron. When the morning come, they disappearing like Croatan. The Melachine, oh my Elohim, Omicron, sealed with the 70, going out like Yoke and 9. And when I meet my deliverer, I'm set apart. I got peace like a river. If we stay sharp with it as a feast on the sliver, we can take part. I advise you play it smart. It's a late start. Let the light shine through the dark. Until the day star rise in your heart, take heart. When you find the door, you'll be more than fine. Holla when you see the joy coming. Morning time. Holla when you see the joy coming.
In the morning. In the morning.
Do you remember where we're from? Pray you the strength to carry on. They trying to take my inheritance, this arrogance. I'm trying to save them the embarrassment. I spit truth, they forgetting what the marriage is. The meek shall inherit the earth, the rest perishes. They taught us all to listen to Balaam with their palace and their caliphate. I'm destined for Salem, man, they rest is counterfeit, plus it's destined to fail them. Shake the dust off this city, man, who coming with me? There's a light at the end of it. I see it shine, getting life with the benefits. That's me and mine, holding fast to the legacy, whether the rain or shine. Do you remember where we're from? Pray you the strength to carry on. Will you step into the sun? Do you remember where we're from? Pray you the strength to carry on. Will you step into the sun?
To receive instant notification each time I upload, please hit the subscribe button and the bell notification.
But my love, there is no light at the end of the tunnel. You must realize that the light is you.
Yeah, you awake? Wake up, you who sleep, and arise from the dead. And Mashiach shall give you light. Yeah. He took me high on a mountain, told me look around. What I found was astounding. If I bow down, he can make anything happen, surpassing everything I could ever imagine. Flying first class, relaxing, living my passion, guaranteed satisfaction. High end estates, cash and high fashion, high stakes, high class and high flashing, high life. Lights, camera, action, the most fly. Said I'm destined to be just like the most high. So when they crown me king, I want the power it brings. Set my throne above everything. Got the world in the palm of my hand. Now raise your hands high. I'm in high demand. Yeah. If you don't know who I am, I'm the man. They got my head gassed up to the red line, believing that the world is mine, but it's all a lie. Said I'm not of this world, so I'm hoping I'm not throwing my pearls to swine. I tell her this little light of mine, I gotta let it shine, shine, let it shine, let it shine. You see this light? I'ma let it shine. I guess I was supposed to respect it and give a toast, but it wasn't what I expected. With truth approach, they rejected it. They mediocre at best, it's just they'll never accept it. We get affected by the time invested. You think they blessed it, what they spitting is septic. Poison in the mind, they lies neglect what's already written. I'm rolling with the elect, you can check how they kicking it. They've been afflicted, now we gotta move mountains to fix it. No doubt, they going all out, man, I'm getting sick with how they try to reroute the ecliptic. Living in a time predicted, keeping it cryptic, then passing it off for something to get with. I'd rather find a way around the elliptic and get this house in order for they find me evicted. Yeah, try to keep me gassed up all the way to the red line, believing that the world is mine, but it's all a lie. See, I'm not of this world, so I'm hoping I'm not throwing my pearls to swine.
I tell her this little light of mine, I gotta let it shine, shine, let it shine, let it shine.
You see this light, I'ma let it shine.
This little light of mine, I gotta let it shine, shine, let it shine, let it shine. This little light of mine, I gotta let it shine, shine, let it shine, let it shine.
You see this light, I'ma let it shine.
This little light of mine, I gotta let it shine, shine, let it shine.
To receive instant notification each time I upload, please hit the subscribe button and the bell notification.
Helping you along the way, helping you to make it through another day.